Army sustainment functions of Sergeant Major and Command Sergeant Major. Introduction. For operations to succeed in the Army, sustainment is one of the essential considerations. The primary function of Army forces endurance comes from the aspects of sustainment which are as well determined by the duration and the depth of the soldier's operations. As a result, this process allows issues such as seizing, exploiting, and retaining initiative execution. Soldiers understand that for them to succeed, there should be aspects of integrating, planning, and synchronizing with the aspects of operation, occurring at every level of warfare. Good leadership from the Sergeant Major is rewarding, as soldiers would rely on these individuals to be guided through timely and accurate advice in all the matters concerning soldiers and an organization. The effectiveness of a sergeant is determined by their ability to understand the organization's mandate in equipping military units for productive missions. One of the 7 joint functions that influence sustainment is logistics provision and personal services availability. Sergeant Major, SGM, utilizes this process to execute the endurance and freedom action to extend the operation and ensuring the mission is accomplished. Thus, it demands the ability of a leader to gain access, plan for, and ensure the delivery of forces to the points of application if the Army should have relative power combat. Besides, an SGM or Command Sergeant Major, CSM, needs to ensure synchronization and coordinated use. The aspects of sharing combatant commands are available to support joint forces in a mission. In that case, it is essential to mention that Sergeant Major and Command Sergeant Major have crucial roles in establishing strong pillars for a mission to succeed because they are responsible for providing leadership. It is crucial to understand that Army doctrine entails many things, and therefore, it is not an entity which requires to be applied blindly. In many circumstances, the Army doctrine tends to adjust to the circumstances, which direct the operational environment. It requires someone who would be able to advise the commander on the main issues concerning enlisted ranks. Throughout an area of operation, the commanders make use of SGM to ensure the influence of command is extended, assist in critical events, and lastly, assess the morale of the soldiers. In that regard, many things, which the Army doctrine entails, are mainly managed and supervised by an authority, and in this regard, the Sergeant Major and Command Sergeant Major. Their availability is crucial if a mission should be a success considering the mandate entrusted to them, which also includes maneuvering from a critical perspective. The duties of SGM. Through the aspect of maneuver perspective, SGM helps expand the influence of the soldiers in a mission. As stated by the Department of the Army, one of the prominent roles of this individual is to have the power to widen a command influence and, in the event, support the commanders to be able to picture the organization. The sergeant will never stand alone in the quest to guide the soldiers in a mission unless the commanders guide them. However, for this duty to be accurate, there is a need to ensure the commander's trust is achieved. Trust is vital because it guarantees freedom of movement in creating and forming open dialogue together with the subordinate command team. This role's main reason is to help the SGM have a common understanding of the organization and for the mission considering information should be shared among the battalions. For the mission to succeed, sharing is essential, which then translated to the aspects of ensuring the influence of expansion, hence helping in fundamentals for success. Sergeant Major is reliable in the context of embracing the fundamentals for success through knowing plans. Another function of a Sergeant Major in the context of leading a mission to success is through knowing the plan. Such a leader's mandate is not of technical consideration in almost all warfighting mandates. Despite their duties being non-technical, the leaders require to be knowledgeable to ask hard questions and can observe with a critical eye. The main reason for this is that the leaders need to be able to leverage the needed experience to influence battalion and brigade staff to support the planning process. Therefore, it means the leaders should first understand these processes and every mission's critical area to be in a better position of extending the influence of the commanders or even offering proper assistance. In this regard, their abilities when it comes to advising the commanders are safeguarded as required. Sergeant Major takes the responsibility of combating the training center. The leader will always be confined in the centers, which offer tactical operations to enable them to move to execute a mission. When this happens, the action fosters their expected impact and facilitates the missions of the brigade. When a mission is set to happen, there are some critical tasks, which the organization needs to utilize as elements of higher magnitude to manage a set duty. Human challenges can be daunting at this level, and they usually emerge from technical interoperability and procedural events. As a result, the SGM ensures traveling ability which comes from the already set plan. The training center requires various issue actions such as traveling to combat the training. It is the responsibility of the SGM as a leader to help empower the soldiers. This ideology shows that these individuals have a worthy function in mission deliverability, hence creating an appropriate system. Military leaders also have the mandate to ensure the missions they engage in are well strategized to form systems. According to the Department of the Army, all the field commanders are dual-hatted to work as fire support coordinators. Their primary duty in this regard is to make sure they pull away from the headquarters of the battalion whenever necessary, to help ensure there is no loss of focus at every moment. The SGM supports the soldiers in understanding such a plan, an act that guarantees plan satisfaction when it comes to function execution. The planners are the SGM, and therefore, they have the mandate of ensuring the teams are well equipped in this manner. Conclusion. In conclusion, the Army is a multifaceted institution and fighting force, which requires sustainment for effective operation. The Sergeant Major and the Command Sergeant Major are two of the individuals who are mandated to provide guidelines to the soldiers in a mission. Some of these individuals' primary functions are logistics, planning, creating systems, and the general aspects of taking up accountabilities. These responsibilities will always reward the soldiers while on their mission.